it was funny because I got a chance to go back to my old neighborhood, Opa-locka. And Opa-locka was not a good place to grow up, dog. And it's funny too, because I was telling somebody like, one of my favorite songs, especially for my time in the wrestling business, is Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere.
I've been there.
I've been everywhere, man. And when he says like all the places that he's been to, if you listen real close, he says, "I've been to Opa-locka."
Oh, he said it
He
in there.
says Opa-locka.
Oh, all right.
There's only one reason that Johnny
Oh,
Cash was
yeah.
in Opa-locka. He was buying crack.
Oh, can we, can you please tell the story of you and your brother selling crack or selling cocaine? You're little as kids.
Oh man, this is awful, man. My life is a movie. I'm telling you, man. Uh, so, so for those of you that have seen Cocaine Cowboys, that's the Miami that I grew up in. Early '80s, cocaine was literally falling out the sky. It was washing up on the beach. Like cocaine was everywhere. My father was a cop, and he had a plate of cocaine in his house all the time with lines chopped up on it. He'd have us on the weekends, and he'd have his cop friends over, and I'd see him smoking weed and snorting coke and
The
everything.
cops.
Cops, yeah, this is Miami. This is law enforcement. I'm watching this happen in real time. My father had a Quaaludes on the nightstand, a shoebox of Mexican brick weed up under the bed.
Damn.
Coke. Yeah, that's Miami, man. It was wild. And the apartment complex that we lived in, Nile Garden Apartments, it was a big square. And in the middle was like the courtyard, swimming pool. And the first time I heard the term Cocaine Cowboys was my mother using it to refer to the dudes that used to hang out by the bank of payphones in our apartment complex. It's all the Spanish dudes over there with pagers and like I said, it was a big square, and then it was a hallway, and there was a bank of payphones, and then there was a big laundry room, and then you go out the other end. That was the parking lot behind the building. And with no exaggeration, and anybody who grew up in Miami can tell you that what I'm saying is the truth. I used to find little baggies of cocaine all the time because you just reach in your pocket, get your car keys, and your blow falls out. On the little payphones, it was common to find it, and I knew what it was. Miami Vice was my favorite show. I was a precocious kid, and I remember I'd sometimes find the little baggies, and there were certain people in the apartment complex that, you knew they had the little long pinky nail,
Right on.
certain people, and I'd find it, and I remember this dude Joe, Spanish dude, young, good-looking guy, drove a Camaro, and I had the little bag, and I found it, and he goes, "Where'd you get that?" So I found it over by the payphones. He goes, "Let me have that." So I gave it to him, and he gave me a couple dollars, and I was like, "Thank you."
How old are you?
9? 8? Let me see. What grade was I? Dude, I don't even think I was. Let me see. I was 4, 5, 6. Dude, I was like 7 or 8. I was like third or fourth grade. And I remember him, I'm asking him about cocaine. And it's a grown ass man. He was in his mid-20s saying, "Yeah, you give yourself a little bump in the morning, you're up like that, you're ready to go." And I'm just like, okay, because I see people doing it. I see T,
Right.
and he gave me like $2 or whatever, which was candy money for me. I'm going to get some now and later, And that's kind of when I realized, like, oh, grown-ups, if I find these little bags, there's certain people I could go to and give it to them, and they'll give me some money. And I remember this other dude in the building, this Bahamian dude. I gave it to him, and he gave me some money. I went and bought a G.I. Joe.
Oh.
And me and my little brother figured out, like, when we find these bags, let's save them. And there's certain people in the apartment complex we could go to, and we can give them these little bags and get some money. And at the time, thinking about it, like as an adult now looking back, this is some depraved shit, But to put it in perspective, like I went to 4th grade at Opa-locka Elementary School. So yeah, this shit was happening. I was in third, 4th grade. And I remember walking behind our building was Nile Garden Apartments. And then back there it was just fucking crack was ravaging the community. It's early 80s. And I remember being a little kid walking home from school. And I can't remember that street, but there was the dope stroll. The cars pull up, dudes run out, sell rocks, whatever you wanted was back there. And I'm telling you, I was 8 or 9, and I saw kids smaller than me that were playing dope stroll. They had leaves from the tree and little pebbles, and they were
Playing it
playing
like it's cowboys and
like they're emulating what they're seeing growing up. So
Wow.
these kids, so if I was 8 or 9, they had to be 4 or 5,
Wow.
and they got little leaves and little pebbles, and they're doing drug transactions. And I remember looking at them and thinking, "Oh man, that's messed up, man. Damn, that's what they're." But I'm doing the same thing, but for real, like not even.
Poor kids.
And there were these dudes, because down the street from our apartment complex was Miami-Dade Community College, and there were these dudes that lived in an apartment, and they were frat boys, and one of them, I remember, he was like a bald head, like kind of jacked up dude, and they were all cool guys. They used to mess with me and my brother. We would talk smack, and one day I showed him the little bag. And he was like, "Man, let me get that, man." I said, "Nah, man, no, I'm hustling him now. No, my daddy's a police officer. I'm going to give it to him." He goes, "No, well, give it to me. You shouldn't have that. I said, "Give me some money, I'll give it to you." And he's like, "Man, you little badass kid, man." I'm like, so I gave it to him. And I remember he gave me a few dollars. And so it's almost embarrassing to say, like, we had like a little relationship periodically. I'd find a little baggie and I'd knock on the apartment door. "Hey man, you guys want this?" And they'd be like, they take up a little collection. They'd give me a few dollars. But one day